Good day, students. Today I am here to teach you a figure of speech named alliteration. Now, figures of speech are used by a poet in order to enhance the beauty of any poem. They are the ornaments of language, poetic language, and they help to enhance the attraction and beauty of the poem. So, alliteration is a figure of speech which means it is the repetition of speech sounds in a sequence of nearby words. It is the repetition of similar consonant sounds. Now note the word similar consonant sounds. It is not the repetition of consonants but consonant sounds. For example, W also sounds W and V also sounds W. So, it is not the repetition of the consonants but it is the repetition of consonant sounds. So, it is the repetition of speech sounds in a sequence. Sequence means when they come near to each other in a sequence of nearby words. The term is usually applied only to consonants and only when the recurrent sounds occur in the conspicuous position at the beginning of the word or of a stressed syllable within the word. It is also important that the position of that consonant, the sound of the consonant should be either at the beginning of the word or of a stressed syllable within a word. In Old English alliterative meter, alliteration is the organizing device of the verse. Each line is divided into two halves of two stresses by decisive pause, a caesura, and at least one, and usually both of the two stressed words in the first half line alliterates with the first stressed word of the second half line. In this type of versification, a vowel was considered to alliterate with any other vowel. Now, I will give you certain examples of alliteration. Wild west wind. Here, the sound of W is being repeated. Wild west wind. It gives attraction to the part of line. Full fathom 5 thy father lies. Here the stress is on the sound F. Full, this consonant sound is being repeated in nearby words. Full fathom 5. So we have many examples of alliteration in our poems. Piers Plowman. The title of the poem may also be alliterative. Piers Plowman, Gawain and the Green Knight. And in the opening lines of Piers Plowman, for example, all four of the stress words they alliterate. See, you should notice the repetitive sound of S in this line. In the summer season when soft was the sun. So, the sound of S is being used in nearby words in their consonant sounds. I repeat, in summer season when soft was the sun. In later English versification, however, alliteration is used only for special stylistic effects, such as to reinforce the meaning, to link related words, or to provide tone color. An example is the repetition of the S, S, Th, and V sound in William Shakespeare's sonnet. This sonnet is also there in our course of study. Now I will read out these lines, the stanza, and notice the sounds of S, TH and W in these lines. When to the sessions of sweet silent thought I summon up remembrance of things past, I sigh the lack of many a thing I sought, and with old woes new wail my dear time's waste. So here we can notice the repetition of certain consonant sounds. Now various other repetitions of speech sounds are identified by technical terms. For example, consonance. Consonance is also a literary term which means a repetition of a sequence of consonants, but with a change in the intervening stressed vowel, like live, love, lean alone, Peter, patter. W.H. Auden's poem, Oh Where Are You Going, said reader to rider, makes prominent use of this device. And the last stanza reads like this: Out of this house, said rider to reader, yours never will, said fairer to fairer. They are looking for you, said hearer to horror, and be left them there as he left them there. So this was an example of consonants, and we will also do assonance. What is assonance? It is the repetition of identical or similar vowel sounds, especially in stressed syllables. They are in a sequence of nearby words. Note the recurring long E in the opening lines of Keats' Ode on Grecian Urn. Thou still ravished bride of quietness, I. So now you should notice the long I. Still unravished bride of quietness. Thou foster child of silence and slow time. Now here in this example the I sound is being repeated. The assonatal effect at the beginning of William Collins' poem Ode to Evening depends on the sequence both of similar and of identical vowels. Notice, I will read out to you these two lines. If aught of oaten stop or pastoral song may hope chaste Eve to soothe thy pensive ear. For a special case of repetition of vowels and consonants combination, we also study rhyme. When we study rhyme, we study the stressed and unstressed syllables, and we also study the rhyme scheme. So I hope you understood what is an alliteration. For a revision, alliteration is a repetition of speech sounds in a sequence of nearby words, and it is important for us to know that the term alliteration is usually applied only to consonants and only when the recurrent sound occurs in a conspicuous position at the beginning of the word or of a stressed syllable within a word. So, alliteration is the repetition of not the consonants but the consonant sounds, because consonants may vary. It may be W or it may be V, but the sound is same. Now when we speak out the sound K, it may start with the consonant K, it may start with C, and it may also start with CH. So that is why it is important for us to know that it is not concerned about repetition of consonants, but it is concerned about the repetition of consonant sounds. Alliteration enhances the beauty of the recitation of a poem. When the poem is recited, if we have many alliterations in a poem, then it is we enjoy reciting it because of the twisting of the tongue, because of the nearby sequence of repetitive consonant sounds. We enjoy the repetition of these similar consonant sounds, and that is why the poem becomes better for recital. So, alliteration is very important in vocal poetry. When we speak out a poetry, or when we read, or when we recite a poem. So I hope you must have understood what is alliteration? Thank you very much.